Yo guys, so we're going to run through a quick stretching routine. Firstly, you need a band like this, preferably one that's medium strength. You can get these in D8 Fitness on Cork Street, and I advise you as a group that you buy them in bulk and sort of share them out. There's other bits of equipment that you need, and I'll point them out to you. So firstly, get to the mid-shin height. You want the band to mid-shin height. We're going to start off by releasing the hips. Again, if you do these stretches right, you don't actually really need any other stretches. First up, most importantly, is your hip. So as you can see, I've done these before. Hands underneath the band, spread the band across your hip, guys, so it doesn't pinch you. So band on the right hip, pulling you backwards, and your right leg goes underneath you, targeting the glutes. You're going to sit back into this with a nice straight back leg. Trying to push that back leg back a little further than what I have it there, which I'm going to do now. Anchor down your right foot. So your right foot is underneath you, band is attached to the right leg. Again, you've done this before. You're going to go searching for corners. Right now I've found them. And you're going to rotate your body open to find the sort of spots in that hip that are really tight. Squeeze the glutes for 10 seconds, relax them for 10, and make sure you're doing your breathing. Also guys, when you're doing this, you really want to focus on going searching for those corners that are quite tight. Right here is one that I find quite tight, and that band is pulling the socket, ball and socket joint back, sort of away from the joint, allowing some room to happen. Next one, guys, you're going to do the hip flexor. So have it higher up on the shin. Again, you can see me pointing to my shin. Get a pad or a towel. So again, guys, you can attach this sort of band to the banisters at home, if you like, or at the sort of track. Again, this is something that's really important that you do so those hips are open and ready to be activated properly. Again, can't emphasize this enough for you guys. So band up high on the outside of the hip, really grasping your bum. So you want that on the same leg. Again, you do this 3-step protocol on the same leg first. Hand right up in the air, squeezing the glutes with the back toe pressed hard into the ground. Again, you're pushing your hips forward. You've done this before. You're really pushing those hips forward and really reaching up with your head up to the sky. Again, feeling the stretch in your hip flexor, which is just at the top of your right hip right now, running from the sort of top of the right hip up towards the belly button. So really reach towards the sky to get the best out of it. Again, guys, once you're doing these stretches, you need to do each of them for an absolute minimum of 2 minutes to see any mobility gains. Again, I know they're really tough, but you need to persevere and you really do need discipline. Next one, guys, you're going to work on that hip again and really loosen up that hamstring insertion point, something that a lot of you really struggle with. Have the band up quite high, the same as a sort of glute stretch, same position. Set yourself up in this position, sort of height position. If you can't bend down and touch the ground, simply get a chair and put your hands on the chair. This is called flossing. I'm bending the right knee and then I'm straightening it. So that's really digging in, and it's really quite painful when I go to straighten it. You might not even be able to straighten that right leg, but you work towards that. And if you spend 2 minutes doing this, guys, you'll feel a lot more mobile in that hip. So as you can see me pushing that leg back as well. Really just forcing that stretch and really just opening up that hip as much as possible. Again, guys, 2 minutes, so you should be 6 minutes in right now. That's one thing. You do that either side. You do that on one leg. So you do that 3-step, glute lying down, then your hip flexor, then you're going to do your hamstring. Do 2 minutes each, either leg. Once you've done that, you can activate your glutes. But also, guys, some foam rolling for the back. So I see a lot of you guys doing it, and you're not really working into those shoulder blades. So you need your elbows together and hands on the forehead. You're really working in on the right hand side, leaning slightly right over to the right hand side now on your sort of shoulder blades. I find this quite nasty, guys, and I'm quite mobile. You should find this absolutely terrible. Again, really working into those sort of scapulars, and again, 2 minutes total, guys, spending down on the ground as long as possible. If you really suffer with bent over and sort of shoulders rounded, you need to do a lot of this and a lot of rotator cuff work. So once you've done that for roughly around 2 minutes, guys, you want to start doing some thoracic extensions. So falling back over it. If you can grab onto something hard, something solid like a kettlebell with your arms up over your head, do by all means to get more of a stretch. Again, stretching out the shoulders, stretching out that thoracic spine. If you imagine you're always down looking at your phone, always hunch forward. So now we need to do the opposite and open up. Again, guys, these stretches should be done every day. You want to be a top class athlete, you need to be mobile and moving. If you're stiff, you're tight, you're sore, you're going to struggle big time to do it. Also, guys, see the tennis balls that are just pulled out there? You can use that for the same thing in between the shoulder blades. If you want to do it, stick 2 tennis balls together. Next up, guys, screw your feet into the ground, knees pushed out. Squat is your most functional position that you can be in. If you want to stretch, stretch in your functional position. So you're going to squat down, you drive your knees out really, really hard, okay? Pushing the elbows, making sure your feet are rather straight. See where my hands are? I'm imagining I'm holding onto the pole. I don't need to because I have the mobility, but if you don't be afraid to hold onto the pole while you do this. You might be able to get down as low as I can. That's okay. Go down, hold the stretch, elbows out, and everything will be good. So there you go, guys. There's a sort of quick stretching session that you need to do. If you think you need to do more, you don't. If you do this and do it as I prescribe with 2 minutes on each, you'll be flying, guys. So again, take note of all the steps to do and work away at that every day, guys, and see the benefit. Cheers, guys. Have a great day.